All right, I'm having a good time right now. I'm just excited because Ricky's here.
Yes.
You know he's one of my favorite.
Yes. All you talk about is
Raheem
Raheem
DeVaughn.
Raheem.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Don't I talk about him all the time?
You do. When we saw him at the NAACP. Oh, but Raheem DeVaughn
He's
is
here.
over there.
I want him on the show.
Yes.
And he was one of the first ones I wanted
Yeah.
to be on the show in our studio. So, hey, baby.
What's happening?
How you
I
doing?
feel good.
Good.
Yeah,
Looking at you now, man.
thank you.
You're taking over the game, brother.
You know
thank
my
you.
last
Yeah.
experience with Raheem? We were in studio.
Yeah,
It was just him and I.
yeah,
Had my feet kicked up on him.
yeah.
We're having conversation, and he's rubbing my feet at the same time.
Oh, my
Sound
God.
about right.
Right?
His girlfriend going to be like, oh,
Yeah,
so you
sound
was
right.
rubbing somebody's feet?
No,
huh?
his girlfriend ain't.
I don't know if I had a girlfriend.
You
at
didn't
that
have a
time.
girlfriend because we talked about that.
Okay, all
Do you have a girlfriend now?
I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Would you like to share her name and us give her some love?
I live a private life.
How does your girlfriend, though, deal with these women, Raheem? Because when you walk out on stage, they love every piece of you.
I mean, women were loving me before her, and they would love me. It is what it is. The love is the love. You know what I mean?
How did
It's
you
all
meet
good.
her?
How did I meet my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Man,
What?
It just happens universally.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh. He's blushing. He's blushing.
How you blush underneath some shade?
I can see it. I'm looking side right here. I can see it.
Just watching a black man get red, man.
Hey, Raheem, I didn't realize. Hey, it is what it is. I didn't know you were from Maryland. What part of Maryland?
I was actually born in Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in Jersey, and I grew up in the DMV area, which consists of like Maryland, DC, and Virginia. I've spent time in where I've lived in Baltimore. Early in my adult life, I graduated from High Point High School in PG County.
Okay.
But in Maryland and DC was like my stomping ground for like really for developing my art and my craft as an artist.
Okay.
And kind of branching out to be a solo artist. I was in a couple of groups and stuff like that back in the day.
Remember that Lexington Market in Baltimore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Lexington Market.
Lexington Market, a place to get any type of food that your heart desire, Rick.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I know every time you talk to somebody from the DMV, you're always talking about Lexington chicken.
No, I
Yeah.
just say Lexington Market, they have the best.
Do they have chicken? What's the place you always, right, you always tell them to go get the chicken from
So,
Lexington Market.
for us, certain places we go, we will say, can I get a chicken box with half and half? You know what that means, right?
I mean, maybe 25 years ago. I
Right.
haven't ate chicken in a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're what? Are you?
I went cold turkey. At one point, I was a vegan. I went cold turkey, like vegan and vegetarian. When I was on the road, like touring with Genuine, that was kind of like my introductory to the, music game, like singing background for G. So, like, that was kind of like my purge, like leaving the meat alone on that,
Right.
doing that. And I've lost kind of track of when I actually started. I know it's been over 20 years.
Wow.
Easy though.
Wow.
But I haven't eaten like chicken or like, meat or anything.
So you haven't cheated? You haven't gone back just for like, let me get a little taste of that?
Nah, yeah, I mean, definitely on the like, on the dairy side or
Uh-huh.
the seafood side, fish and stuff of that nature. But other than that, I mean, I'm kind of going back in the direction, I think, like, full vegan,
Right. Yeah.
I
I
just
play
try
with
to
it a little bit, man.
eat healthy, be healthy. You know what I'm saying?
I
What
got
you got in your
something
hand?
special here.
Then
I'm shaking.
Okay,
And we're gonna get
while
into-
you shaking it up really quick.
Bake.
Go ahead.
I gotta ask you this, man. While a lot of young artists were into calling women bees and garden tools,
He's
I
loving
still
it.
into
have
that.
you have they're still into it. You have a special appreciation for women.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that come from?
Maybe it's my upbringing.
Okay.
For me, my grandmother who passed some years ago, and my mother who's still living, as well as like other women who've been, beacons of light throughout my life, had a huge influence over me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? In terms of like what a woman represented to me.
Right.
So, I feel like it's probably a lot of my peers who choose to go that route. Call women out of their names on records, stuff like that. I'm sure that they had those women too, in their lives. You know what I mean? It's just I think as artists, that's a conscious decision, and once you commit to a certain lane, you have to pretty much ride it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the coolest people I know is like Too Short.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For a lot of different reasons. My
Mhm.
first introduction to like Oakland and to the Bay
Right.
was getting a call from Short that asked me to go to move around with him throughout the city and go like to community centers and like
Right.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like 10 toes down and so that was our first interaction. You know what I mean?
I'm
So
thinking,
so to think
that's odd, right?
yeah,
Like
and he's
that's
one of the most coolest and respectful people of women that I know. You
right,
know what I'm saying? At
but
that
in his
time.
records,
But
he
in his
called women
record, yeah.
every name.
Because it sells.
And well, I won't even for him. I don't even say it was necessarily a sell thing because that was a different time.
That was his lane.
That was
Mhm.
Yeah.
but more importantly, that was his life. Like he
Yeah.
came up in a culture where it was
It was cool to talk.
for some of us, we might just look at it as a black exploitation film.
Right.
He came up around pimps.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that lifestyle, like and seeing that.
Right.
You
So
know what I
he's
mean?
singing
And
his life
drugs
story.
and just you know what I mean? So yeah. So for those who really tell the story, like when they really tell the story, they tell it from all aspects.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can be able to understand it and absorb it. You know what I mean? That's like, Kendrick Lamar might use that term, but he might use it in a manner where it's where you bring it full circle. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And unfortunately for for what we do as black artists, people of black and brown color in particular, we gotta recognize and realize that we set the gamut and the tone for what happens
Right.
globally as it relates to music, sports, what have you. Like
Yeah.
we're public influencers, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
of the culture. So with that comes great responsibility, and some people take the responsibility on head on,
Right.
and then some people don't. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think that that'll be the difference between what I do for the culture and where I stand out 20 years from now versus something that might be received or digested as like microwave music. You know
Right.
what I mean, for the moment. So like when you get into these conversations about the king of this or the king of that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like me personally, I'm a king among kings. Let me just say that
There it
first
is.
and foremost. But more importantly, like what that you can't even really determine that right now.
Right.
Cause I've just in my wave of what I've seen, I'm on my second decade, and I'm on my seventh album, and probably a plethora of mixtape, about 30 mixtapes and countless features. I've worked with everybody from UGK to Boney James. That's a different
nice.
like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Too many
Yeah.
people that can say that. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it I think who rules and who reigns and stuff of that nature, like it that'll really be determined 20, 30 years from now, like when we you know what I mean.
How do you think you've sustained that? Because you look back in, I think it was 2004.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me it's just being
Yeah.
the sustaining power is consistency,
And
Right.
me,
like
Women.
there it is.
Right.
we
Yeah.
love his music.
Ha, ha, ha.
He sings to us.
Yeah.
And I sing and for but I sing to y'all, but I sing for I
For the
write it
fellas.
for the fellas.
For the
though.
fellas.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I write it from a raw but poetic,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, place.
Have you met Malik Youssef in Chicago?
That's my homie. Like
That's
Malik,
my brother,
Malik
man.
has
You
been on-
you remind me of him.
Malik has toured with me in the past. Malik, we don't talk
Had no idea.
We don't have to talk every day.
Right.
But if I saw Malik across the room fighting
Yeah.
or vice versa,
Yeah.
like we already know what it is.
That's
you know?
that's
like,
my brother, man.
we kindred
Yeah.
spirits.
Yeah.
I'm actually on my way to Chicago,
Right.
Yeah. I'll be
That's
in
what's
Chicago
up, man.
this week. So
I'm gonna tell him
but
that. Like,
nah, Malik, that's family.
it's like I'm talking to Malik right now.
That's
man.
family.
And Malik, he's a poet. He's a writer. Wrote for Beyonce's Lemonade album.
has
Oh,
wrote
okay.
Done a lot of stuff.
co-wrote a
Kanye.
lot of stuff. Kanye, a lot of different things. We worked on a few projects together. Most recently with the Hip Hop Caucus and the Climate Control Project that
Right.
they put out, a few years back, and stuff like that. But yeah, just a phenomenal person. You know what I mean?
I bet when y'all
Yeah.
get together, like the whole room just gets shut down. Y'all don't come out for hours.
You know,
talking,
Malik
man.
toured with me. He toured with me when I was
Right.
on the Jill tour.
Yeah.
When I toured with Jill Scott, and you know, he was
oh
on.
my God,
He's
Jill
on.
Scott and
He's on a
Raheem
few,
DeVaughn.
He's on a rec. He's on the album. He's on one of my previous albums.
Okay,
And stuff
okay.
Well,
like
before
that.
we get to the album, I need you to pull something.
Okay, what's this right
I'm going to
here?
ask a question. Once you pull, you have to answer the question, okay? You're going to get a couple of those. Let me see that real quick. What is the question?
I can't. I'm just waving my Fifth Amendment. Right? Man, we can't even get our president impeached.
Oh,
but
my
we got it,
God.
But I got it.
We're working on it though. Read the question.
If you're taking a shower and have to pee, do you get out of the tub? Damn, it depends. Have I ever took a whiz in the shower?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think who hasn't?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But we're not going to pee on our girl.
Yeah, nah, we ain't. Nah, we
Ah,
ain't.
okay,
Nah.
My wife was shampooing her hair and she couldn't see.
And
And she said, "Babe, my feet feels really warm."
You're peeing in the shower.
Peed directly on her foot
You're so crazy.
on purpose.
We're spending some time with Raheem DeVaughn, one of my favorite artists of all time. So new music, boo. What's the new single?
Oh man, it's going crazy right now. You know, Urban AC and Urban Radio is called Just Right. Album number 7, The Love Reunion is out. You know, it's available in your smartphones for all the listeners out there. That means if you simply go to, you know, iTunes or Tidal or Pandora or Amazon, wherever it is you like to listen to your music digitally, you just type in my name, Raheem DeVaughn, and The Love Reunion, and you can jump into album number 7. You know what I mean? You can jump right in.
Okay.
Got right in.
Yeah.
And tell us about the Love Life Foundation, man.
Oh man, we've been in existence for about half a decade now. We do everything from fighting domestic violence. One of
Okay.
our most recent events was not only sponsored and hosted by the AHF, which is one of our gracious partners. You know, the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, which was one of the curators and leaders of the AIDS Walk this year in Atlanta, which took place this past Sunday.
Right.
I had the opportunity to perform out there along with Monica and a lot of great other artists.
Yeah.
And there was a great walk in solidarity for our brothers and sisters who on the front lines battling HIV and AIDS, but also to bring awareness to the disease to, Atlanta in particular, who's, probably, I don't know if they're number 1 right now, but definitely one of the top 5 cities being affected majorly.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We also fight domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
Again, one of our recent events was with celebrity hairstylist Kim Kimball during BET
Kim.
weekend. We came on as a partner with the AHF as well to not only give some young youth makeovers, but also pamper their parents, the mothers who deal with severe domestic violence situations. We do what I call Queen for a Day spa takeovers. And we partnered with Kim to take over her salon for the day. She donated stylists, some who flew in from out of town. We pamper these women and, love on them and everything while they're in transition of getting out of those severe domestic violence situations. We also do textbook scholarship funds,
Right.
which is one of my favorite things to do every year. We give away scholarships to graduating seniors out of the DMV area. So this year we did 6 students, and we pay for their books and supplies the entire first year of college.
That's a blessing.
All of these things are funded by my fans who take pictures with me after the shows and buy merch and stuff like that. A portion of everything goes towards the foundation.
That's what's up.
Giving back, right?
Donations. Yeah.
Man, I love when people find their purpose in this game. You know, a lot of young kids, when they get in this industry, they say, "I want this, I want that." But
And you
it
can
means
have
nothing.
it.
You can have it, but it's nothing if you're not taking care of people.
Yeah.
Not just the people who take care of you, but just taking care of people, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I wake up every day trying to figure out how to change somebody's life for the better. Whether that's an artist I'm working with,
Right.
or have discovered or involved in their career. Whether it's a friend, a friend of mine, or that may be in the industry that needs some advice, or is trying to own a masters.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Just like different scenarios, but always different. Trying to live a selfless life. You know what I mean?
What it's all about,
Yeah,
man.
it's
Yeah.
moving.
Raheem is always so
Moving fast.
laid back
Yeah.
and so calming in his voice.
I mean,
Because
What
I was
gets
thinking
you
about how
aroused?
can I help the next person.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
I mean, you know, shout out to one of my friends,
yeah.
Cannabis. First name Cannabis.
Right.
Last
Oh,
name
Lord.
Can I bust? That'll do it always.
Right.
I know this is a Bible belt
Oh,
technically,
Lord.
but you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give him one more
Oh,
question.
we got one more.
Oh,
one
more.
more,
Here we go.
and
All
then
right.
we want to.
Let's see what's up in
See
here.
where Sasha going with it.
Yeah.
What is your biggest turn off about a woman? Man, it would have to be
Stinky breath.
it would have to be hygiene.
The hygiene.
Yeah.
Hygiene.
Yeah,
That'll
you know
do
what
it.
I'm saying?
And how
That'll
would
do
you
it.
deal if you were dating? Well, you have a woman, but
Oh, I'm
prior.
gonna just tell you, baby.
What would you do? She's talking and
I'm just going, if it's, if you gotta go up and I'm brutally,
you're brutally honest.
yeah, I wouldn't want somebody to be that honest with me.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like your breath stink,
Yeah,
bro.
you know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, now I may not say it
That's
like
what I'm
that.
asking. How are you
So
gonna
which one
tell
would
me?
you want to? If it were the top or the bottom, you had to take one.
As being stinky?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You had to
The
take one.
bottom.
Which one would it be?
I can't do either. I ain't got to take.
I ain't got to
I
take.
am
Right.
who I am.
I'm gonna be
I have
celibate.
options.
I'm gonna be celibate then.
Yeah.
Well, listen, the album is called The Love Reunion.
Yeah.
It's available now on all digital platforms. He got this
Everywhere.
foundation, y'all, called Love Life Foundation. He wakes up every day trying to help people. And the single Sasha out right now, Just Right.
Yeah.
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 So we're gonna see you soon because I'm working with Raheem to come back and
Okay.
do something, but he's so booked up and everything.
Oh no, we gonna.
but we gonna work it out,
Yeah, we
right?
gonna definitely figure it out.
All right. Cool.
Yep.
It's the homie, y'all, Raheem DeVaughn. Yeah.
Yeah, love life.